Hey, Asgard here, and it's time to talk about the absolute cinema. This episode was with the battle on three fronts that we had here, three individual fights there, or more like one was a group battle that we had versus Revolta there, but Method versus the Demon, and Fern versus the Demon also. We're eating so good with Frieren right now, but we only have two more episodes left. No, the pain. But this episode was more than worth it, and insane praises to everybody that was involved, the animators, the staff, everything, and of course the creator of the series. Like, don't get me wrong, I love amazing, insane animation, but also having the build up, the planning of everything that went into the fights, the emotional attachments to everything builds up this even more. And when you also get that, and with crazy animation, just blends so well together. And having Genau, a character that felt like such a throwaway character at season 1, playing such a huge role here in this arc was great, and even in this episode he was awesome. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now, have Genau and Stark versus Revolta. This was kind of the main fight of this episode, even though we had two very important fights also happening, and seeing the camera movements there, the fluidity, just the insane turnaround, the impact, feeling the weight of all of the clashes when he was flying with the wings, and Stark there with his axe and everything that he did, and Genau actually getting wounded. Revolta was overwhelming them. Like, this was a hard fought battle for them, and Stark actually also gets wounded because he decides to take an attack head on, even though he was warned not to do it, but he pushed himself quite well, and he still probably doesn't realize how strong he is, but the smirk he had when he gets cut wounded, they're like, that was planned from him. And here is where Genau gets the opening he was waiting for, and he's able to wound Revolta quite a lot, cutting his tail there, and Revolta finally remembering from when he knew Genau, and starts twisting the knife, so to say, in the wound of him being the one that killed his partner there. And here is where character moments matter quite a lot, and character development. Like, they kind of had this fight in the bag, so to say, but we know from previous episodes that Genau says something, but his actions speak louder than all. He's like a walking contradiction here. He doesn't care, he doesn't have emotions, he's cold, calculated, which he's those things also, but when push comes to shove, he probably cares the most out of everybody. He wears his heart on his sleeve. We saw how much he cares about the village. He pretends he doesn't care about his partner, but he cares quite a lot. And here is where he gets distracted, and Revolt telling, hey, you should look for more survivors, and you see a child survive there. I'm like, okay, child survive. My mind went somewhere. I was like, okay, Revolte took a child, used it as a bait, warped its mind there to distract the mages, the demon hunters, and so on. But no, here we see the child survive, quotation marks, and Genau instantly acting to protect the kid. But that kid wasn't an actual human, was the curious little demon that we had in previous episodes, and stabs Genau while disguised as a human. Like, damn, my mind went somewhere. But this is also really interesting here, just showing Genau's character, him instantly acting even against his instincts. So even though he knew in the back of his head there's no survivor, he still acted on that hero instinct, basically, so to say, to protect a kid in need. But after that, zero hesitation, he kills the demon there. He was still very wounded here, and I like his comment to Revolte. World would be at peace if humans were only focused on protecting our young ones, because we know there's a lot of conflict. Look out at our real world right now here. I like those comments in between the fight here, and we get a bit of a flashback with Zeri calling the partner that died too kind, and telling him, kind men just don't live that long, and you're not really kind, so stay like this forever. And I don't think Zeri really knows Genau quite well, and she kind of has a blind spot into this emotional side of people she interacts with. She kind of views them only one way or only the way she wishes to view them. And even with Flamme, we know she doesn't care, but she cares. She still cherishes that spell from Flamme and everything, and the way she clashes with Frieren. But Zed is probably gonna be an important character probably later on here. Stark also jumps in there. He did so much, even blocking the attacks there. Goddamn, Stark was awesome in this episode. And again, now them working together, saving each other, working with the teamwork here. And I like his comment there. Battles are won by whoever stands last, and kind of pushing themselves forward. And kind of, Gena was about to give up, but Stark pushes him to not give up here. And like, don't cut away, don't cut away. Oof, it cuts away. But the next fight, we're gonna get back to this fight, was also really good. We see Fern on the run, thinking what to do, and I like Frieren and the spectator from above overlooking the fight. And this fog is good at detecting mana here to find any small fluctuations. There we also see Method versus the girl. I mean, goddamn, Method, the way she acts, Ara energy all over the place that we had there. And her, I like how she's very different from the others, analyzing fights, analyzing circumstances, her environment, the situation with everything. She's very analytical even when she's fighting, and kind of different from her apparent. She's part of this insane demon hunter clan. One of the demons commented on that. Hopefully we find out a bit more with this Method. Is such an interesting character, and I need more mommy energy there. But here we have her versus this demon that is very strong with fundamentals, so she shouldn't take this fight head on. She decides to fight a bit differently, and what she does kind of affects also Fern's fight. She senses that fight there, and she decides to remove the fog and start blasting it, distracting the attention of the demon, their bombardment, illusions here. And slowly analyzing the fog to remove it here. And while this was happening, we still have the Revolte fight still overwhelming them, kind of like a wounded animal fighting back. In turn from this calculated fight, overwhelming fight, he turned kind of into a savage predator, and we see this there. And I like how Stark instantly went to slam him from the tower there, tossing his axe, slamming Revolte down here, and the axe slam. Ugh, that was so satisfying here. And slowly they were weakening him. Even him wasn't able to focus on mana control to materialize his swords properly, the strength of them. But what I liked actually paid off from previous episodes, showing how hard this fight is because of how versatile, having a different body there, 4 arms, 4 swords, and just with that, besides all of the stats that already had here. And Method, also on the other side of the fight, she's able to take out the fog. She was analyzing it and having fun. I think she's a bit of a battle maniac, to say the least. I really liked her energy here, and thanks to that, gives the opening for Fern to take control of the fight. And Fern is kind of like an orbital cannon. She blasts the demon she was fighting from from Narnia. It felt like the moon shooting it here, and the other one, this one felt like the moon shooting it. Zoltrak and even kills the demon that Method was fighting there. So that was great, and Frieren praising her, and she's like, I don't want to have another difficult fight like this, but they needed this fight, and I really like it. They're gonna improve from this and learn quite a lot. And Fern is an orbital cannon. This is what we learn here very, very well. And now the main fight, we have them. They're able to break all of the swords, but they get caught. They get stabbed in the chest by Revolt extending his arm, stabbing them, and like, oh, already on. No, something more is going to happen. They push themselves even more, and with their last attack, and goddamn, that Cleveland-like attack that Stark did, cutting Revolta here and finishing him, was very, very satisfying. Like, insane fights that we had going back and forth between them. I liked Fern's attack, their Method analyzing the fight here, Stark pushing himself quite well, and Genau being the support and also the attacker was awesome, seeing how much all of them contributed to the fights, to say the least, working together. Even Method and Fern, even though they weren't together, they were working together and helping each other. And meanwhile we had Genau and Stark working together to take out the big boss with Revolta here. They win, but they had a lot of wounds here, and we get to see a bit of the flashback of Genau finding his dead partner, and everybody calling him, you're a good guy, you're a good person, but him not believing that or accepting it. And I like how even during that situation he was still crawling to Stark to help him. And now I think he was the one that bandaged him up, even though he was in a fucked up state also, Genau, or was it Frieren and Fern that did it after they showed up? But I liked him going there. Let me know in the comments below if I think Genau was the one that patched him up as best as he could until helped arrived here, and he's definitely a good guy even though he doesn't believe it himself. And when he wakes up, Method was over him, healing him there and saying, it's okay, I can move now. How is Stark? Stark is also okay. And Method's like, I healed him first. Does this please you? No, that's more than fine. And we see a bit of the flashback, him with all of his strength that he had left pointing there, go to Stark first. Goddamn, awesome character here. Quickly became one of my favorite character in the series there. And we have them recovering after the fight, Frieren and the group deciding to stay a bit in the village to recover, doing some shenanigans also. And I like how Fern calls Stark a freak of nature because he was doing push-ups after he was recovering, which he definitely is a freak of nature there. And I liked Method's comment saying that their party is missing a priest, and yes, they very well are missing a priest, and she offers to go with them after she finishes some things. No, it's okay, we don't need that. If push comes to shove, we're gonna run away. We can do this. I can cast some spells, not high spells of priests here, but if things are going this way, they're definitely gonna need their priest back. And I like her saying she wants to keep the slot open for Zine, and we need Zine back. We definitely need Zine back, but we have bigger worries, or at least Fern. I was laughing so much when she hugged and covered Frieren to take her away from Method. No, you can't have her. The pout Frieren is so cute. Even Method saying, I love you also, Fern, you're so cute when you're pouting. But yeah, finally time to split up a bit, and Genau telling them he owes them a debt, which is probably he's gonna come in clutch at some point. I have a feeling when something's going to happen, he's gonna show up or do something for them here. And Method is like, hey, aren't you forgetting something? Say thanks also. She's kind of like his mother, you know? Where is Zine? Where you need the mommy here? But also, they lost a lot of lives here. Burial for the knights, the villagers, the Norm Company also shows up. And towards the end of the episode, Stark asking, was it right to refuse Method? Cute old lady for Zine. Yeah, that's fine. Our group already has Frieren saying, this party already has an older lady. Sure, Frieren, sure, but I need Method in my life also, and Zine is probably going to need her. But yeah, insane episode that we had here. The fights were awesome from the animation standpoint, from the character movements, also the production was insane. But what I liked more were the character moments that we had here for everybody involved. I like that Frieren was just overlooking the fight. Fern was stalling for time to get her opening here, and she quickly, the decisive action she took to go outside of the range of their detection to blast both of them. Method was awesome, analyzing the fog, stalling for time also here, and we got a glimpse a bit with her clan there, and awesome here. And Stark and Genau working together to take out Revolt. So many good moments here. Yeah, but unfortunately we have 2 more episodes there. It's gonna be sad when we're not gonna have more Frieren fight, but we're gonna talk more about that when I get to the last episode. But let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite moment, what did you think about this one, and we need more method, but as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Frieren. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.